This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
I've nothing to say to you.
Do you know?
I have nothing to say to you two. I've seen so much of you. I've nothing.
I think this might be the end of the road.
Yep.
We've joked with that before, you know.
So we've come to the end of the road.
No, I have that. Remember, didn't I not tell you about I was in Marseille?
No.
Yeah, that was good.
That was
Time to
No.
say goodbye.
Edinburgh
said
Fringe
Marseille.
Festival. Edinburgh Fringe
We've
Festival.
done Edinburgh
No.
Fringe.
Okay.
Dicks. We've covered Dicks.
Electric Picnic.
We've covered it.
That's
Killian.
over. That's over.
Traitors.
We talked about
We
that.
did again. We can, yeah.
They know we like
sometimes
it.
I have been recently feeling haven't been feeling great.
Oh.
You haven't been feeling well?
I'm joking.
Oh, very good.
You had a week off.
I've been going great.
They're attractive.
Very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my. Is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
I love Dublin in the autumn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love strolling up Raglan Road as the leaves are blowing around you.
I love the cold, crisp can of Rero.
Yeah, light, fresh lager. Nothing says autumn to me than a nice 568ml can of light, fresh Rero.
Oh, do you know what? For me sins, I might be walking down Raglan Road having a sip of a raw Irish lager and, popping into the old Queen of Hearts for a little tart for me sins. You know what I'm like?
You see a fella you know, you say, how you doing? Do you want a Rero? And he says, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, that's awesome.
And
Dublin.
I'm not making hay, but I'm making Rero. Go down my throat. I'm drinking it.
Well, tipping responsibly.
Sipping responsibly.
Yeah. Thank you, Rero, for sponsoring this pod.
It's a premium Irish lager for the premium Irish podcast, Young Hot Guys.
What we are right now is a machine, and it's well oiled.
Flow state.
We're in the flow state. We're oiled.
Nice.
We're all greased.
Do you
up
not
and
understand the
lubed.
oil we're in?
all of us are together.
We're swimming in the oil,
greased.
and the oil floats,
Got
and so does
oil.
shit sometimes.
Some people have described this podcast as a bunch of lubed up gears.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that's a perfect description of what
Lubed
we
up
are.
lads on gear.
Yeah, I mean, look, maybe that's what we need to do. Change it a bit, Do you remember your man from East 17 said that taking ecstasy was like having a cup of tea? And then he ran himself over in his car.
Oh.
He did. And so did Jesse in Home and Away.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he was okay after, I think.
Okay,
Well, Killian,
this
I
is
hope
the
this
well-oiled
doesn't...
machine I was talking
I
about.
hope this doesn't happen to you when you're off on your lengthy Holly bops with in your van life.
Yeah.
Have you had to do any new revisions to get the van ready for your long trip?
We're going to Italy. We're going to go to the Dolomites.
You're going to his brother's wedding as well.
Yes.
Just to
not
say, we
invited.
will have to do a lot of remotes because life has occurred. There'll be some remote podcasts over the next few weeks, and I hope you're okay with that.
I'm hitting the road.
But I'm away, Killian's away, and we had to spend, it took, I'd say, Jesus, sometimes I'm like, podcast is such a dream. It's such an easy thing to do. It's like, oh, it's such a nice pleasure of work. We had to sit down and compare calendars, and it must have taken about, I'd say 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It
That's
took us
tough.
about, and that wasn't even here. That was on our own time, outside the podcast studio.
And we didn't really laugh during it as well.
We
It
didn't.
felt like
It
actual
wasn't even
work.
fun,
It
Tony.
wasn't even funny.
We had to sit there and go, well, what about the 13th? Okay, well, I have
my
this.
11th free, but
No, dude, I have an
can it be
appointment.
the morning?
We had to do that for upwards of 20 minutes. So I hope you appreciate the level of effort we put in.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Well, you're going away. I'm going away because it's going to be so fun. I'm really excited.
Yeah. What's on the itinerary? And tell me,
Killian, would you be one of those, super planners? Would you have it all mapped out, or would you be a more go with the flow?
Are you the airport dad? Are you the airport dad?
I would.
And would you be someone who'd be like, oh, where's the bloody thing? I don't even, or would you have little packing cubes that you put
if
in your
I
box?
could just.
Oh, you're such a passenger princess, aren't you? You're such a passenger princess.
well, no, what I
And when
actually.
you're
I-
not driving, would you be on the playlist playing all the tunes?
Well, it's
for
quite
your
a-
party?
it's actually-
There's always that one friend who hasn't a clue where you're going.
If I could just. No,
And then you go over to continental Europe and you're like, okay, what side of the road am I bloody even on? Like, what time do you get left or right? Would you crash your car, Killian?
I bet you're the type to have a pint
I
before security.
if I could. Well,
Be rude not to.
It's almost bad luck.
Going
Killian
away is
Killian
so
Killian
fun.
Yeah,
Okay, here's
And
Dermot
have you
Kennedy.
put the van on the plane?
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it.
What do you want to talk about?
Well,
on our show.
No, that was
Welcome to our show. Welcome to our show. This is called Tits 98. What do
Yeah.
you want?
well.
Better be tits. Hang on. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
Well, when we were watching, we were on Gogglebox this week.
You might have seen
You might have
us.
seen us on. Well, we were on Gogglebox, and we said to Hilary, "Oh, we're on Gogglebox," and she was like, "Oh, just the regular one? You're on the regular one, right?"
Celebrity edition.
Celebrity Gogglebox, Hilary.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So sorry, I didn't know that there was going to be a celebrity.
Well, okay.
Properly.
Well, listen, we are celebrities, which,
We are
to be
celebrities.
fair, is a sad state of affairs for the Republic. It's very sad. Now we got Celebrity Gogglebox, and this is meant to be the cream of the cream, the cream of the crop, and you got these 3 looped up gears on it. What has the state come to? That's why I am putting my vote for Conor McGregor in the Oris.
Conor
Connolly.
McGregor, who
A
was
lot
found
of people
guilty in
say-
a civil suit of sexual assault.
Sexual
Yeah.
assault.
Was found guilty of that, yes.
Yes, total cunt.
Found liable.
Yeah, obviously we haven't seen the edit of Gogglebox, but this is how I imagine it being. Okay. Oh, there we go. And then
You're gonna Tony's gonna get out a stopwatch and see how many minutes we're actually in it. Would a minute be good?
minute
There'll
would
be less
really
than a
good.
minute with this. We're recording it the day before. There'll be less than a minute of screen. Well, you might see us sitting down on the couch and stuff. Not a great angle for me. I am worried about that. But look, nothing
I
I
was
can
pretty
do.
good at sitting down on the couch. I think I did.
You were very good.
I think I was pretty good at that.
You were very
Killian
good
was
at
very
sitting down.
embarrassing. They make you sit down. You have to sit down, and
wasn't
then
embarrassing.
it's called a sit-in. I think they call it.
Like
or
what those
walk in.
students are doing in Columbia University. Okay.
And they say, just be quiet. You don't talk during that. But once you're kind of sitting down, you can talk. And they were like,
To allow
they
for
kind
the
of went,
voiceover.
to allow for the voiceover. And they kind of went through that point quite a few times. They were like, so just no talking, just super quiet, and just sit down, and then you can talk. And then immediately, Tony, I'll pass to you.
Well, I was doing
then-
that.
No, I
thing
said
that-
I'll pass to Tony.
Well, I'll pass to me then.
Immediately,
Tony passed to me.
Killian gets up and he's
He
getting
does the
ready.
first sit
He
in.
does the first sit in, and when they say "Okay, go," he goes like a robot walking backwards. Beep, 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 beep.
It's a good bit. It was a good bit.
Yeah, it's funny.
And they were
but
like, "Okay, so cut." So you're again, please do not say anything until you've sat down and give it a couple of
Do
seconds.
you know when you're so focused on listening and taking in the information that you forget to
Apply
actually
it.
take in the information? That's sometimes like when I go to the shops and someone's told me to get things, and they're like, "Do you want to write it down?" I'm like, no, I'll remember. And then they'll tell me the things, and I'm like, "Remember these things, remember these things." And then I'm walking down the street and I'm just whispering, "Remember these things" to myself, and I haven't actually.
Sure.
Yeah,
taking
I'm
in the
like that. If
information.
I go to say, do you want anything from the shop? And Raymond will say, can I have the following 2 items? And I'll go, absolutely. And I will get many other things and none of the things he asked for.
It's almost a guarantee.
It's yeah. So
It's
there's
like a
no point in
magician's
him
trick.
asking.
I'm going to make you forget these 2 words.
Happened to me over the weekend. I was meant to be getting bread and milk and sausages and rashers and my waddy because the children would prefer to have a bit of a cordial splash in their water.
Yeah,
And,
better for them than the Coke or anything else.
better than
yeah.
the Coke. And
Yeah,
also, they
yeah.
have sometimes, otherwise, they'd be having all the milk, and that's too much milk if they're drinking it like they're drinking water. I don't mind putting the milk in the granola, but it was too much.
Very
I
sugary,
don't
the granola.
know where I went there. I don't know who that was.
There's
but
quite a lot of sugar in. Yeah, they say it's healthy.
Granola sugary.
granola is sugary. Tell you, I almost cleared them out of Happy Pear Dave's Cocoa Crunch
someone's
granola.
doing well over here. Jesus Christ.
Bought 5 bags of it.
Super value, is it?
Bought 5 bloody bags of it. And Terry literally said, clear them out of all the granola that they have. And it was a small little fine foods shop that's in the area. And
So the little Harry Potter will have the lot, but with granola.
it was kind of, we'll have the lot. But I saw it there and I thought, if I took, there was 6. So I took 5 because I didn't want to clear them completely out. And then I went up to the till and I was like, here you go. And the lady was really just asking how many things to scan. And she's like, how many bags of granola is this? And I was like, oh, like 5, but like I left one on the thing. And she's like, oh no, just a beep. X5, you know. But I like to,
bags of granolas. I don't judge you for your lifestyle.
yeah. It's just so I don't have to go back. Anyway, you know.
I don't come here to be judged,
I
madam.
don't come here to be
I come here for confectionery.
I come here to eat
Come here for
one
granola?
big IKEA bowl of granola and have a heart attack, love. Okay, all right. I've been watching a lot of those Richard Hart. Now, hang on.
We
I'm gonna
were
talk. I
talking
was
about-
talking
We were
about
talking about a
something.
few topics.
No,
Remember-
I was saying that I forgot the my waddy, but I make up a song. I'm like rashes and bacon and bread and milk. Amawadi, you know, something like that. But I'd forgotten the end bit. Amawadi in the song.
Okay.
So I'd forgotten the
What
song.
do the children drink?
They have to drink the bloody water. Oh my God.
That'll do them.
That'll do them, you know. But
Okay.
I've been watching a lot of those, you know, Richard Harris and like Peter O'Toole tell drunken story
Oh, I love that.
compilations.
I love that
I
stuff.
love them so much, you know.
I love it.
I feel like we need to be a bit more debauched.
Getting Oliver Reed in the mix.
Getting
Hellraisers.
Oliver Reed in the mix, you know.
Known Hellraisers.
Hellraisers.
We
So,
were doing
you know,
a play in the bloody. We were in the bloody playhouse.
Oh.
We're the everyman in Liverpool for whatever fucking reason we ended up there. Bloody the production was touring. I said to him, I said, I can't see. I've been drinking so much, I was in a terrible, and I couldn't see.
I was there with O'Toole.
That's
O'Toole
good.
was going every night. We're on the old Vic stage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going up. I'm doing Hamlet. I'm to be or not to be, and I'm doing it.
That's
and
a
I'm
great
there.
Harris.
And Ophelia's dying, and so every time Ophelia's dying, drowning in the pool, we go across the bar, and we go across, and we're sinking pipes. We have 15 minutes. The stage manager comes to us. He says, where is O'Toole and Harris? We need them on stage right now. That's how it was.
That's how it was. We would buy granola. We'd go, we'd clear them out. And I remember I had 5 bags of granola and I brought it up to the till. And the lady said, that's too much granola. And I said, well, wait till you see how much O'Toole has in his trolley. And that's the way it was.
You're in the Little Island. You see, O'Toole is buying. He's buying a Hoover, a vacuum cleaner. I said, O'Toole is locked. And he tried to use the self-service machines. He forgets to receive. He gets stuck in there. And he's bringing the Hoover around like it's a dog.
And he didn't have his Lidl Plus card. So I go bounding over to him with the Lidl Plus card. And I said, scan it. Oh, those were the times. I miss him dearly.
Do either of you know how painful it is for me when I can't really get in on the thing?
I know.
I
I'd only
sat
watched them
there,
recently. So.
I was just like, oh God, I can't really get in on this.
I know.
And I hear every word. It's reverberating, and I get it. But I'm just like, it's just not something I can do.
O'Toole, no record of his birth.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because he's like Irish, and there's that great interview where he's like, it's that guy, Charlie something or other, and he's like, what does it mean to be Irish? And he goes, oh, it's at the
Charlie Simpson from...
it's at the very heart
Charlie
of
Rose.
it's the very heart of my soul and what I am. When you see that, you're like, oh my God, like that's how I feel. And I'm not even Irish, man. It's like at the very heart of my soul of what I am.
See, do you know, you kind of have that kind of, Irish English kind of actor kind of thing as well, you know?
Yes.
And I know we okay.
Yes.
Okay. Right, I've tapped in. I've obviously tapped into this Irish English thespian.
What they do, all those guys, like Pierce Brosnan and Kenneth Branagh and O'Toole and Harris and all these guys, they all have that story of just changing their accent completely because of they had these thick Irish accents. And then they went to school and they were slagged. And so they just changed their accents to be like, hello. And like Pierce Brosnan's kind of got this crazy voice now because he doesn't really... Because you just have to change. Kenneth Branagh speaks like a total thespian, but he used to have like a Belfast accent.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like I can just any day
You
of
just
the
dip
week.
into it.
Yeah.
Dip in and out.
But I accidentally choose like Newcastle or something.
You weren't even there.
I don't have one.
They do that. But that still happens. The guy, what's the handsome boy who's played Elvis? He now talks in that voice that's not his own anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Austin Butler.
Austin Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he now just talks like that. And you're like, okay, that's not your real.
Yeah, but you know what? When you find a good one, you know what I mean? Do you think I was born with this voice? No. I practiced them all. I was like, and then I started to figure this one out. And I thought, this is the one I'm going to stick with.
You did the Chinese one for a while. Chose that one.
And the which? Sorry, excuse me. No, I was a baby. I was doing an impression of a baby. Thank you very much. Although they do make you change over there in England. Like I for the 10 years I was there, I had to say R instead of the letter or.
Oh, that's right.
You know, because they just don't understand it. They think I'm saying Q either S when I'm doing the alphabet, and I'm certainly not. You know,
I'm just after remembering I did have an English accent as a kid, and I changed mine to Irish.
Well, it just changed.
It just changed.
You're a child.
It just changed. I think my brother changed.
They're like a
his.
sponge at that age.
Yeah.
you're like a sponge.
The children are like a sponge.
Probably pre-15.
If you show them racism, they just.
I remember doing
Mm.
work experience in primary school when I was in secondary school. I did it in our primary school.
when they had you working early.
And I went, they said, do you want to
Bit
go
lazy.
to
You're just
the...
like, that one?
Yeah,
Where'd you want to
they
do
were-
work experience? The one over there? Right beside it?
No, it was a different area altogether. Tony.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
And I chose the infant school, junior infant, senior infant, first class.
Ah.
Now it's all the one now, I believe. The school is now merged. But I chose that one because I was like, they finish at half one.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Brilliant.
That's like
That's a very clever way of doing it.
yeah.
That's
and
very
I
clever.
just whatever. If it's working in the bed, I'd sleep on the floor.
That's what
and
his mother says.
You probably were like, as a future thespian who had a massive milestone as a thespian. We'll get to that in just a second. As a thespian, you were probably thinking, I want to be among my people. Those whose work is essentially play. I'm with my people.
But they teach something. There was little Polish boys, and they were speaking in like wonderful English. And this is like November, and she was like, "Yeah, see, 6 weeks ago they didn't really speak English.
That's
but
wild.
they're so small. They're just like they can hear it. Their brain just like I now speak English.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible.
Well,
It
they-
is mad.
with respect to the children, fuck all else going on, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? It's the same human brain. It's the same human brain we've had since we became Homo erectus, sapien maybe even.
It's not the same human brain as an adult's human brain.
No, but it's the same
A
brain
child's
matter.
got more bones than a grown-up's got.
What?
Them bones
Oh,
need
yeah.
calcium.
I remember.
No, because apparently
too
it's to
much,
do
man.
with the sound of the ear. Do you ever have a Dutch person try and tell you something in Dutch and they're like, no, it's da, or the name of that volcano that went off in Iceland that shut down the river was called Eyjafjallajökull. And there's this sound
Wow.
that we
You
can't really
practiced
say.
that.
Yeah,
Oh
I did
my
practice that.
God.
I'll tell you another time. But we can't
Do
really
not have time. It's a
I
podcast.
think I sound Killian, I don't have time to talk to you about how I don't have time. We think that I'm saying that noise correctly, that TK. Eyjafjallajökull. And then an Icelandic person would be like, you're not saying it right. No, it's Jökull. And I'm like, yeah, Jökull. And they're like, Jökull. But when you're a child, your ears are better at listening and you can hear the specific sounds of these different accents that we stop being, our brain just moves on past that because we no longer need that sharp ear that your brain just develops and go, right, next thing we have to work on something else like producing new hormones or whatever, so they're not worried about that, and that's it.
My
That's why
dad
the children
slipped
can do
into
it.
a German accent yesterday, because he speaks good English, but
Very good English, yes.
he yesterday was talking about my mum ran for arts something in university and she had a campaign and he was like, yeah, they had it all, they were going, it was vote Web, and he's always been able to do the W, but he was going vote Web like that, and that's
Web?
something web
Vote Web.
and he would be able to do that usually.
What's
Like,
Web?
Webb is my mum's surname. She changed it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Webb.
I thought she was just Sundermann.
She was, they're brother and sister, my parents.
This explains
No,
everything.
no, 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 no.
Millhouse.
But
Like
you can't just
Millhouse.
drop in, that's my mother's her maiden name.
Yeah.
Do you expect us to just know your mom's
As
maiden
a
name?
maiden.
And do you expect the A story of this podcast to just know your mother's maiden name like that?
As a mate, I
Stop
expect them
doxing
to
your
do their
mother.
research.
need to
I'm
stop
like
doxing your
Joyce.
mother.
I'm like Joyce. All I expect from my listeners and fans is a lifetime of devotion and analysis. That's all I expect. He also said,
Vote
he's being
Web.
very
Vote
funny.
Web.
Vote Web.
Vote Web.
Vote Web would be hard to say though. It would be hard to say, even on finding it. Vote Web.
And it's mad the way the finish would be kind of like a virgin, hey, that kind of thing. Also, that Icelandic person that called you up on that, they're not exactly with respect to Bjork, not exactly, and Sigur Rós, right? They're not exactly speaking the best, it's Ottika. Oh, Killian, Shane, how did you get it wrong? Like, that's not how you're supposed, you know what I mean? How did you get it wrong like that? That's not normal.
That's the thing.
I don't
You
want
should
to
have
start.
corrected
I don't
every
want to start a
fucking
fight.
syllable. No,
start
this
on
is
the
what I'm
I don't want to
talking
start a
about.
fight with the Icelandics. They are somehow our cousins. There's genetic connections there. They don't even know why. I've never been.
No,
but
as
I would
I've
like
I
told
to
know
go.
why they
everyone.
carried off all our women up to Iceland, the good-looking ones.
Did
Is
they?
that why?
Yeah, that's why we're rotten and they're really good-looking.
Do Vikings did this?
Yeah.
Whoa.
How do we use this podcast to get to go to Iceland for some reason?
I think we need to start a war and then go and apologise. But as I've said many times to anyone who's looking
We're
to
really
book us
sorry
for
about
stuff,
starting that war. We started a war and we're sorry about that.
we're sorry about that.
Start of the war. Sorry about that. Where can you see the Northern Lights? We are only here till 4.
What's that island
I
that we
want
used to
to
fight
go.
over? The islands?
Oh,
Rockall.
No.
I'd die for Rockall.
Okay.
do we have a say in Rockall Island?
Rockall is I listen. I don't want to get it, but it's at the very heart of my soul.
Okay,
Rockall,
it's this
right.
island.
It's the very
it's this
centre of who I
island
am.
that
how I
everyone
feel
says
about
they
Rockall.
own. It's not so much an island. It's kind of a rock, really, isn't it?
Yeah, Rockall.
Like, yeah, but it's
tell you
like
what's on
the
the
size
island,
of a
Rockall.
room. It's not like a big.
No, but it's Rockall was a big deal because of it's large enough that it has like a coastline, and so.
And who
it's
says
something
they
to do
want
with,
it? Who says
fishing
they own
areas.
it? Denmark?
The UK wants it because of Brexit. I think it gives them access to certain things or something like that.
Fishing waters,
that kind of thing. But as I said, Rockall is at the very centre of who I am.
Guys, we're going to
Tony, how do you feel
What are the
about
other
Rockall?
countries?
Never heard of it.
Sorry, Denmark, Iceland. All these people want Rockall, and it's a rock.
Every now and then someone goes there and changes the flag on it and stuff. They're like, no, it's ours.
No,
Yeah.
there's
But no
another-
one really does own it. Sure, they don't.
There's also Sealand, which is off the coast of.
You're thinking of Sea World.
No.
And that's where
They closed down.
Killian lives.
It's like an old oil rig, and I think they declared it their own country, and then I think a lot of
the oil
gambling
rig guy.
companies
Yeah.
kind of worked
And then a
through there.
teenager the other day said he found an island. He's like, this is my island.
Oh,
He declared himself the
see,
president. of that.
teenagers, sometimes they surprise you.
I know, yeah.
Oh,
And
yes,
if
it's
they get off
Rockall.
their phone for 10 minutes, look what they could all have
Look
their
what
own
they
island.
can do.
So any teenagers, any Dagory, gay stock, any teenagers listening, get off the phones.
You might
Leave
find
the
an
Gohan Polka in the Polka. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
leave it in the pocket. And then you might see.
Did you see what Michael across the road's after doing? He's off his phone, he's eating his granola, he goes off, he finds a bloody island.
I was on Suzanne. She said her Mike has his island. You haven't even cleaned the bloody bedroom.
Yeah. So, Elon's going to Mars.
You need to get more sunlight, love. You need to get more vitamin D. Your skin will go bad. Huh? I can't get over the fact that I only learned that parenting existed when I was 29. I never realized that the idea that your parents are when you're 16 and 15 and stuff, that you think you're just I am an independent person going around my life. You've no idea that your parents are talking about you going, we need to try and get him now. If we try and get him to do an hour to study, I had no idea that was happening my whole life. I had no idea.
All you see is a cage. You see,
Yeah.
that's the thing. The greatest trick the devil ever played was to put you in a cage, but you can't see the bars.
Yeah, my
And
parents
also
are the devil.
And the second biggest trick was to have everyone believe it didn't exist.
Third biggest trick is that he wrote your name on the card and then he pulled it out of his back pocket. There it was.
There it was. That was actually it was more popular.
And he ripped up a piece of paper and then, but then when he
Sleight of
pulled it out,
hand
it was
of the devil. Lucifer's sleight of hand. Is this podcast followable? I use following along.
It's good.
I feel like it's one of those ones, like I always say, when you pop it, if they have it on the Alexa or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
and then they go into the toilet and they come back out and we're talking about something. They're like, what is this? What is this? And then you're pressing rewind 15 seconds and then you
Yeah.
might get an ad for something.
Yeah.
Well, can we tell you that is exactly at odds with how we want this podcast to be enjoyed in its entirety. This is not a radio program. We want you to listen through the whole thing and then comment and let us know good things only. That's the only way we want this podcast to be.
Good things only.
I want to celebrate thespian Shane Daniel Byrne. Theatre kid. Theatre kid Shane Daniel Byrne took to the national stage and played he had a great elan on the stage and played an absolute stormer. Shane, a bloody brilliant show.
Yeah.
Thank
Well
you very
done, the
much.
Abbey
It was
Theatre.
incredible. We're
And
clapping.
thank you both for coming to it. Thank
was
you very
great.
much.
Yeah, it was hard to go to. I'm not going to lie. I had to get our babysitter moved to Australia, and I had to get my brother, my younger brother Ben. Thank you so much, Ben. You saved the day. He's not scared of kids, but he's too young to really,
Is he Big Ben?
He's actually he's bigger. He's the biggest of us all.
Oh.
Even my uncle was
often the case.
"It's so funny. He's your little brother, but he's bigger than you."
He kept saying that. He found that funny.
Yeah, Sonny found
There
that
was a
funny.
very incredible moment that I will never forget and it was real. So somebody asked me, was that real? Yes, it was. I talk in the show about a teacher I had and who has since died. And it was early on in the show. It's not like it's emotional or anything. And from the depths of the audience in the Abbey Theatre, Rockall and Shane, someone said, Shane, he's my uncle. And I sat down on the ground and we all had a big laugh. And then we had to kind of have a chat about it.
Yeah.
And it was I was on my toes there, really going, how do you deal with this?
Yeah. You had more material
A
on
new
him.
thing. I had yeah, we had a little chat. Anyway, his niece was in touch with me. It's his genuine niece. And absolutely bizarre and fantastic. And that's why it is great that Ireland has its place among the nations, but it is also a village. It's fantastic that you can talk about your teacher and his nieces in the room. I mean, it does also, you have to be careful. What else might you say about somebody? I said his real name. That's a mistake. All names are generally changed when I do things. And then I can say any resemblance to a person.
Yeah.
Real.
That's why you have those
it's
two
purely-
characters in your show, and no one knows who they are, Boney and Gillian, and no one knows who they are, and I'm
No.
still like, who are they?
There was a big cheer when I mentioned the
half-Belgian
podcast,
cunt.
and then I said that you both were there. There was a big cheer.
Yeah.
There was excitement.
And I saw
in the
people
air.
going, looking left and right.
Yeah.
Where is he? Where is bloody is he?
There was a funny moment where, because the Abbey is like this, it's a huge stage in terms of Irish history and stuff like that. And many things have happened there. And we were sharing kind of little memes in it and stuff like that of, like old newspaper articles of when they rioted, which I find so funny. Someone seeing the Playboy of the Western World or some sort of play, and the audience was so like enconced that they just rioted. They literally that's how. And I was like, what joke of Shane's is going to get them to riot? Like that's so outrageous. But this stage, it's such a big, dramatic, kind of important stage. And then my friend is just like kind of walking out and doing this like little jokes on it, and it just felt like I was like, this feels like a takeover or something. It feels radical or just so funny and silly.
Yeah, I generally don't do gravitas. I don't hold things in too high esteem. I have a lack of respect for everything equally. But actually, it did feel quite exciting when I went in first. I was an hour early by mistake, and I was like, "Hello," and they're all kind of like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" But I was a bit overwhelmed. I was like, "Jesus Christ, this is nuts! This is nuts."
I did realize the full scale of like this being like a historical place in that we were like queuing up at the bar, and the queue was huge, and I'm like.
Fair play to the audience, having a few drinks, having their scoops.
It was this huge queue, and I was there with Terry, and Terry was like, "We're not going to get served." And I'm like, "He's on stage in 5 minutes," and I'm like, "Terry, as someone who's actually been on the other side of one of these things, they'll go in and they'll tell him there's a huge queue at the bar. We're going to push it back by 10 minutes."
Yeah.
And so then,
And that is how Tony
we
talks
waited
to his wife.
5, yeah, but a lot more
You're
jabbing
stupid and
the
I'm
chest. Listen, babe, as the celebrity in the relationship, you have to do what I say.
Watch Gogglebox.
And we got up to the bar, and they said, the bar's closed, the show's starting. And I said, oh. So we didn't get served. And this is what Terry has worked in semi-state bodies before. She knows all about this kind of shit. And obviously I don't. And then I have to admit,
This
sorry.
is the coolest thing ever.
I heard this.
It was very cool. We were sitting there in the Abbey Theatre, and then Terry and Tony sit back and they're like, we didn't get drink. And then Tony sat for a second as if he was doing a calculation. And then it was like he took the pill in Limitless, and it was like his brain started using that 80% that we don't use. And he just turned and he's like, I can go to the shop next door. I've got time. And Terry was like, no, Tony. He's like, almost like, I've done the calculations. We have time.
And
It
what
was
did
incredible.
you do?
I sprinted over to the gala and I bought 4 cans.
Great.
Of 3 cans of beer and 1 gin and tonic for my wife. And I was sitting doing the calculations, being like, 4 of us, okay, 1, how many pockets do I have? 1. So 2, 3, 4. And then when I figured out I had 4 pockets, I pegged it out. And it was literally starting just as I sprinted.
It was incredible. You sat
well
down.
done, Tony. That is very clever. I did ask them. They have a stage manager and everything. It's all very, very, very professional that you wouldn't have ever experienced before. And they're like, he said, they give you he's like, that's your 10 minute. And I was like, do you think we're going up at 8? And he said, going up at that, in show business, that means starting. And I said, I think it's going to go up at 8. And he's like, yeah, we can push back. And I was like, I said, well, just whatever. I was like, I don't mind delaying. I was like, if the bar is busy, whatever, let them get the drink. And he's like, yeah, we can go. Okay. And then he went off and talking to the radio and it was like 5 past. So I'm disappointed to those of you who are like that boys here and were turned away from the bar. That wasn't on my account. I wasn't in any hurry.
And Tony, you almost missed it. Like, you had enough time, but then you almost missed it because the shopkeeper, it was a shopkeeper in one of those jackets or whatever. And Tony was like, 4 cans, please. And then he was like,
The green
"All
grocer."
right." He was like, yeah. And he was like, 4 cans. Okay, 4 cans. And then he came back and it was like a glove thing, but it had forks on each of the finger. And Tony's like, no, not 4 cans, 4 cans.
And I was like, let me break it down for you. 2 cans. You wouldn't believe what he fucking did.
No way.
He went to an aviary in the back.
Oh,
and he
my
brought out
God.
fucking 2
Couple of
birds.
toucans.
Toucans.
Well, I said to him, 2 can play that game.
And then I was on the phone and I was like, Bay, I don't know if I can get the cans. I was like, Bay, cans, right? And doesn't he come out with fucking the Denny's?
Bacon.
Denny's.
Bacon.
Not as good of a joke, but you know what I mean?
No, it's there though. It's fast.
You know
It's
what I mean?
No,
fast.
good. I
Yeah.
was 4 cans. It was impressive because I was like, what's he going to do when you were saying that?
And I said to the shopkeeper, all these bloody wordplay things, you're driving me forking mad.
the 2, okay, that's the 2 Johnnies The two
Those
two
are the
Ronnies.
two Johnnies, of
and
course.
I wanted to say that we forget
fork handles. Fork handles. Handles for forks.
I wanted to say that we forget that the two Johnnies is a little earworm for us because of the two Ronnies. That's many years before. So and well done to the two Johnnies on all of their success.
And the two Ronnies
who are died. Well done to them.
They is dead.
They're
and
up in
that is
heaven
there
with
they
Ruth
are.
Bader Ginsburg looking down on us. And
what-
Jimi Hendrix.
That'd be a podcast. That'd be a bloody
Oh,
podcast.
they'd have some laugh up there, wouldn't they?
The two Ronnies and Ruth Bader RBJ.
This should be the podcast. Well, this should be the podcast.
That's what they say. And she's like, no, I should have given up my seat before I
She's
died.
just doing push-ups.
She's fucking jacked.
Yeah.
I
I should have given up my seat before I died.
Anyway, but listen,
she should have.
She should have. It was a wonderful show, I have to say. It was an absolute
Oh, well done,
storm.
Mahagot. I had a lovely time. Very hard to take a picture of it. I put up the pictures today. It was like they're all shite. My camera didn't work. We may recover the files. Who knows? But then everyone was like, everyone who sent me pictures was like, yeah, sorry, they're shite. And I was like, they're all shite. Whatever way the lighting was set up, it was impossible to take a picture of that stage.
Yeah, it was the
Like,
lighting, it was the setup, it was, What?
Might have been the photographer.
It's just when all the photos are shite, But anyway.
Maybe
What are you going for? Is that an attack at me? When all the photos are shite, I would suggest the lighting is wrong. Is there something wrong with that?
No.
What
I
are you?
would say-
No, Tony. I'm not. No, sorry. I'm going to be like a dog with a bone on this. What are you going for?
Could have been a bit more light on stage, all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Did you think I looked too dark on the
No,
stage? now?
no.
The show's after been on and over and it's done now. Now what do you think? You're going to tell me some criticisms?
No. Just maybe if you had a darker
what a
shirt,
jealous
a
person-
browner tone on your shirt, then, But anyway.
I had a navy shirt.
Yeah.
look,
Tony,
I don't-
could you take over here?
I
I'm
will.
actually a bit upset about this.
No, do
Oh
you know
my
what it
goodness.
was? Do you know what it was? It wasn't.
It was
even,
the
It wasn't even the lights on the stage. It was the light exuding from the entity.
My
that is-
pussy.
she's
star
pussy.
that Sean brushed.
My
so
pussy
bad.
was on fire at the
Shane
Abbey Theatre.
Daniel Byrne was exuding such elan
Thank
and
you very
light that it made all of the photos unusable. But also, you know what? It also might just show that people were actually just paying fucking attention. That's what it
Yeah,
meant.
touch that.
And also, it's like the Abbey was so prestigious or something. It kind of feels like you don't whip out your phone in that environment.
Mm.
But you can whip out a can.
That did
That's
feel
true.
weird as well.
Well, and also I felt bad because that's the second time they had to let me in because I bloody went to the wrong theatre first. I went to Abbey Theatre
Oh,
and I was
God.
sitting there and it was just two fucking bees buzzing doing Hamlet. And I'm like, this is fucking shit. When is Shane coming out? And then I was like, when is Shane? And then they stung the fucking hoop off me. And then I had to run and meet Killian, before the show. And I was like, oh, Abbey Theatre. I was saying
Tool
Abbey
and me,
Theatre.
we're dressed as bees doing Hamlet together.
This was not the Abbey Theatre. This was Abbey Theatre. Can you believe that,
We
Colin?
did a month run. Nobody came.
And they didn't pay us in cash. They paid us in honey. But that was fine for me and O'Toole. We guzzled the stuff. Even though we were supposed to be making it.
Oh. So Richard Harris is an actor. And Peter O'Toole, if anyone doesn't know, they're old Irish actors and they have tell very funny stories about just their debauched kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, let's break up though. Let's break up the band. This isn't like.
Do you know if I had to tell like debauched stories of getting really drunk, it would just be like
So I fell asleep. And I got a bit sick on my legs. And then I don't even remember getting home. But I remember my wife was not happy. And I didn't do it again. Because I've got kids.
Yeah, Tony, it's really over for you, isn't it? Really, like party boy, Tony. It's super over.
It is.
And do you ever like? I was talking to my parents about this, about like going out when you have kids, and they're like, we didn't really start going out to pubs again, but we didn't have the money for it till like years later. So like, do you think you'll have a second wave?
I'm hoping to have a second wave. Our pal Jordan was actually saying, he was like, he's noticing a lot of our friends kind of, who are just now starting to get into having kids and they're kind of, tapering in now already. And he's like, and I can tell now in a couple of years, you're going to be tapering out. You're probably over the hump. And I think he says that hopefully because he's no intention of having kids and he needs someone to hang out with.
Yeah,
but,
in 10 years. I think when the kids are like 13, 14 and they can stay at home on their own and stuff, I think you will spread your wings again.
I think so. But
you
you know
and Terry
what?
will take on the Dublin party scene like socialites.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terry and Tony stepping out
you'll
and
step
onto
out.
their own sick at Lily's Bordello.
Closed down now. 10
Well,
years.
I'm hoping.
You can go to Mother there.
Mother's in there.
Yeah.
Oh, just exactly what Tubbs would have wanted. I don't know. Whatever, whoever goes to Lily's. No, but you know what? It is sad because you kind of have this. I'm smug about it now. I can be smug about it. Oh God, all that gargle. No, I can't do that with the kids and everything. No, and you know what? I feel better. But I miss it so much. And when I first started having kids, I would sulk, and Terry's like, "Who am I minding here? The fucking baby or you?" And I would sulk, and then you go to things
Love
and they're
Terry
like,
for that.
That's
Sorry,
great.
love that.
And
What
then
a
we-
line.
Great line.
What a line.
Who
2
am I
words to you on
minding
that
here,
one,
the
Terry.
baby or
Who
you?
am I minding here? Literally feeding a baby with her breast.
Yeah.
And you go, me, me, me.
Exactly. I remember I told her because I was talking about not being able to, and it was literally because it was like a massive, I think it was like a pride party, and all my friends were at, and like that the next day I was looking at photos and I was like, Tara, I think I have male postpartum depression, and she fucking burst out laughing. It's a real thing. I didn't have it. I just had serious, postpartum FOMO. But she laughed her ass off at me. But then do you know what happens? You get sad, and then you just get less sad. And now I kind of still feel sad when I see like a rager, but I kind of let it out in kind of a millisecond, and then it's gone. Like just a small little whimper,
Okay.
you know what I mean? That I miss the.
Give your kid a hug.
But if it's any consolation, like if I don't go, I'm on the night, I'm like, oh. And then the next day when I'm up and about doing my little bits, I'm like, and this is where you start to get old and boring life. Do you know how many times I'll say to Raymond and he'll say to me, I'm so glad we didn't stay. I'm so glad we didn't stay.
I'm glad we left when we did.
I'm glad we left when we
I'm
did.
glad we
And
left.
I actually feel fine this
I'm
morning.
so glad we left
I
when we
actually feel
did.
fine this morning. And then you do a little concession. No, I know I'm tired.
No,
I know
I'm
I'm
not
tired.
tired.
Like it was late. It was midnight.
But can you
But
imagine?
like
It was
we
that
will.
Diora that saved us, babe.
We had that the night before. I always take the Diora the night
That
before.
Diora saved
Have
us.
electrolytes before you go out. But that is so. But like it is. It's nice to get old and cozy. But like it is. So if that's a consolation, when I don't go, I'm also chuffed. So you don't miss that much.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I want you to be there till 2. I want that from you, Tony.
I know.
I know. I think it's okay for that
you
to
need
exist
to
between
be
us.
a worse
That is
father.
fine.
That would be great.
That's fine. Do you know
It's
what
not
it is?
that it's worse father. It's just that it's probably. I'd imagine it's intimidating, the idea of getting up and having to answer questions and wipe arses and talk to people and lift people and change clothes and get in that. No, your feet are filthy. And do all that with a hangover. I can't imagine.
No, do you know what it is? Because I cherish the nights out, I'm so preoccupied with just what happens as soon as I step out the front door that I have not thought about anything after that. I have not thought about what time I'll be home. I've not thought about accommodating for that. I've not thought about any kind of thing I can do to be like, I'm going to be home and it's going to be late and I'm going to be out, until all hours, and in the morning I might need a bit of extra help, and to have put in the effort ahead of time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who the fuck's calling me? I'm so sorry.
Someone's ringing you.
Someone's ringing you.
I should have it on bloody do not disturb.
Answer it.
No, do you know
you go.
who it is? Do you know who it is? I'll tell you who it is. I'll tell you who it is. I tried to change my gas service provider.
Oh.
We are not doing great on that. You're not beating the Tony
No,
Cantwell.
listen.
Fucking loser allegations here.
Tony, you're trying to be the
I
loser
tried-
allegations, and you're talking about changing your gas boiler.
Ian O'Toole would change every 6 months.
We logged on to bunkers.ie. And you can use any of those. There's many price comparison sites available. Other options are there.
He's on the Late Show with David Letterman.
Anyway, we were just about to change, and then they were like, "Can you give me an existing gas reading?" And I'm like, "No, I don't have the key to open the box. It's a triangle key. I don't have it." And she said, "Okay, well, we can't help you." And I'm like, "Okay, so there's nothing you can do? Can you not send someone out with the key? I'm telling you, I'm looking to sign up for you for a year. It could be a couple of grand in that for you. There's no way." And they're like, "No, but I'll call back in a couple of months and see if you have the key." And I'm
Okay.
like, "Okay." You would not. Hey,
You
I
can
used
use
to
the
work in
Toblerone.
sales. I used to work in sales. You wouldn't make it. You wouldn't make it in a first.
Yeah, but Tony, that does seem like you need a key for your own
do need a
property,
key for my
and you're
property,
like, you're annoyed at this woman.
That's on
like,
them.
why can't you bring a key to the box on my property that I own? That's a
Go
bit
above
weird, Tony.
and beyond. Go above and beyond for my custom.
When
This
you
is
do
Tony
it, will you tell me
Cantwell
how
from
you
the
do-
Irish Times article.
Tell me,
we're talking about.
tell me how you did it,
Independent.
because I know we're supposed to do all that. We're supposed to change every year or whatever and save
I got
money.
onto Gas Networks. They sent me a key.
123.ie, just log on, save money. Other websites are available.
Yeah.
But I don't know how. I've never done it, and I don't know what you're supposed to do. Am I supposed to be putting money into the government savings? Why is no one teaching us this? What's happening? Why isn't there should be some kind of refresher course?
I'd say there is.
Adults education, and I
I'd
can
say
go
there
and say,
is.
what'll I do with stuff?
I guarantee you there's something. If you just look for it online, citizen information. There's all that stuff. You know, like people I'd love to learn. You can learn Irish for free in a university. They give you free Irish lessons. It's unbelievable.
And does a green owl go whoop when you say something right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It does.
And does it give you a star every day?
Well, no,
go in?
you don't because it's on the boycott list now.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Duolingo.
good thing I gave up on that shit before. With
I
Spanish.
preemptively knew not
Is it
to.
real? Does anyone? Can you go around? And, I speak English or speak whatever because I learned on Duolingo.
You can speak English.
I speak English.
Yeah, you do. Good.
Well, that's not my first language.
No.
No.
My first language is German.
Yes.
Deutsch.
Sha.
Dankeschön. I'm very popular in the what is it he said? My dad said. He said, "I'm very popular in the Turkish community."
What did that mean?
No,
If you know what I mean,
he
Killian.
said something about Finn got his hair cut in a Turkish place or something like that, and then we were talking about his haircut and something. And my dad just walked in and goes, "I'm very popular in the Turkish community." And he didn't really explain it, and he just
Love
walked
it.
off. And
Love
we were
that.
like, "That's unbelievable that you said that."
I went to a Turkish barber. You know, I had just a bit of a touch up, and I just googled the closest Turkish barber, and I went in, and you wouldn't believe he put bloody feathers in my head, and he told me to do the flap flaps. Go on, you good thing. It was bloody Dustin.
Oh, but he's a turkey
barber.
He's
Turkish.
He's not fully Turkish.
Speaks-
Shane told me
he's
that
a
the
kind
other
of a
day.
Human Turk.
He's a turkey vulture.
He's a turkey vulture.
What?
Which isn't a crossbreed between a turkey and a vulture. It's a type of turkey.
Yeah.
Someone told us that on the podcast as well.
Yeah. So there you
And was he on the Gogglebox with us last night?
go. He might have been.
I think it was
Zig and
just
Zag were on it.
Zig and Zag. Class
Justin
traders.
usually shows up now.
Aren't they?
I don't know.
What's the story? Zig and Zag where they went over to the UK. We've talked about it before, but
They took the soup,
they took the soup.
or the zoop in their case.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah.
But I feel sorry for Ray Darcy because it's always like, oh, Zig and Zag are going to be here. But it's like obviously Zig and Zag and Ray normally. You know what I mean?
Well, Ray is a great part of that. He's a very good straight man, and that you don't
Oh, he's
notice him
brilliant.
there at all. Actually,
No.
Isn't he very good?
He's very
He always
good.
was. Credit where it's due to Ray Darcy now.
Mm.
For international listeners, these were like what we watched as television. Children, all children watch this TV show in Ireland every day. And he was such a good straight man that you'd think he wasn't part of it, but he is part of it.
Well,
Yeah.
yes. And I love Ray Darcy. And I spent a lot of my youth watching him and loving him and thinking he was my weekday dad. And then my weekend dad, of course.
God,
But
please don't bring up divorce.
I will. And he
Those
was
kids
good.
are so weird.
But having done
Ray, I mean Daddy. I
Just
mean Ray.
joking.
Did you when you were on his radio show? Do you say Daddy? Sorry, Ray.
I call him Ray Darty. No, but he's very good, and it's a great dynamic. But is he the best straight man? Having done improv, he's not a big yes and man now with some of the patter. Do you know what I mean? He'd be kind of like, oh no, shut, go away out of that. Stop.
I
stop.
will
That's the style.
I will put a counterpoint here that actually when you're so fluent and fluid with your improv and with the people you're working with, you actually can break the rules, and that's part of why that's part of what makes good improv. Actually, is when rules are there to be noticed and observed, but then also broken. So I will actually I disagree.
I think you could add someone being like, and Zach, tell me about that haircut that you got on Saturday. Something like that.
That sounds shit.
It's
Thanks, I agree with you.
That sounds
Killian.
like the whole
That sounds
dynamic.
shit, Tony.
The whole dynamic is Ray is trying to rein them in. That's why he's called Ray, and it's like because they're being so bold, like they're messers and they're bold, and the turkey
and he's kind
And
of their
he's
guardian.
trying
the
to-
Turkish barber they
and the
have.
Turk-
He's kind of their guardian.
and he's trying to get. He's like, you can't. And that's the whole dynamic.
Yeah.
If he's not doing that and he's egging them on, they're not bold. They lose their whole Bart Simpson kind of quality, and then it's like, well, they're not being bold, they're not being messers. Then I don't like them because they're not. Kids like people who are being bold and stuff like that. Well, I did, and I was pretty crazy.
Well, when I went to Dustin, the Turkish barber, I said, can I get a 2x4 on the sides?
Because Justin the Turkey was a builder.
He's now
Yeah.
a Turkish barber.
I didn't know he was a builder.
He is, of course, a builder.
He
Didn't know
was.
he was a builder.
What does he drive?
I don't know.
Jesus.
He did his own version of I'm Too
High
Sexy.
ace van.
A high ace fan, and he did his own version of I'm Too Sexy, and
Yeah,
he was
I
all
know
like,
that.
on the scaffold, on the scaffold.
I do my little walk
yeah.
on the scaffold.
Do me little walk on the scaffold.
But I didn't know that was. I thought that was just a song he did, like a parody song.
He's a builder.
He's also an honorary member of the Dubliners. So
okay. I didn't know any of these things. I don't know. I mean,
I love it all.
I love it all. Anyway, look, I love you.
I love it all. I love Zig and Zag. I love Dustin. I love Saki. Love it all. Love Snotzer. Love the whole lot. Love Podge and Rog. Well, mainly when Podge was just Podge in the thing. The Podge and Rog TV show didn't like as much.
it's great.
Well, I'm just have my opinions.
I like to scare at bedtime.
Well, I have my opinions.
Well,
I
you're
thought it
entitled
was
to that.
misogynist at times.
Well,
Okay. That's
Indeed,
maybe
we
fair.
all are.
I was there in the audience for Podge and Rog live, and Jodie Marsh was the guest.
Jodie Marsh.
Who's Jodie Marsh?
Jodie Marsh would have been kind of like
She was like a spare Jordan.
spare Jordan in the way that there was your Barbie and then there was Cindy. She would have been kind
If
of
you
the
couldn't
Cindy.
get Jordan, well, Katie Price, she's known as now. It was Jordan at the time. But if you couldn't get her, you'd get Jodie Marsh, and
Okay.
she'd just come out and say like tits, and then she would stick her tongue out, kind of thing.
Okay.
That's kind of was her job. And
Big
now,
Brother.
now I think she does. She was on Celebrity Big Brother, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
now
yeah.
I think she does misinformation kind of campaigns. I think that's what she's involved with now.
Oh.
That's a good way of getting
Not sure.
you and
Not
your
sure.
Isn't it
sort
great
of
that you can pivot out of page 3 into journalism?
Yeah, you can pivot out of any, like if you're even some sort of semi like well-known person and suddenly your career has gone to shite, you can just turn right wing and you've got a whole new fresh career. A load of thick people will start going, oh yeah, you're saying it like it is.
Not that they're all thick, but some of them are just vulnerable and lost and looking for something.
And also, and I don't know if you know this, thick.
Right. Right. Well, I'm trying to be fair and balanced.
No, okay, yeah, fine.
Hey,
But
we
we'll
all
lost,
have our
alright, but
bubbles.
also,
we all have our actualized feeds that we all have. We're not all reading the same information. People come up to their own conclusions based on that.
And if we all sang the same note, there'd be no harmony. At the same time, there is also discord. So,
I'm
so
all
we
for
are
balance
in-
and everything like that, but
Whoa.
I think, like, and everyone has a reason for being one way.
This is
or
the last
not-
word of the podcast, so
No,
pressure's
well,
on. Killian.
oh no,
Pressure's
it's
on.
not. This can't be the last word
No,
of the
go
podcast.
on, go
This is
on.
important.
I just think we should also, as this left, start slagging a little bit, being a little bit more brash and entertaining and countery, and kind of just have a bit more of a back. I don't know, just be a bit more. Stop caring about all the rules and being.
And so you were putting
politically
forward your
correct and all.
candidacy for Irish Theo Vaughan.
Sorry.
So you're putting forward your candidacy for the Irish Theo
Theo
Vaughan.
Vaughan's arguably a centrist, no?
I mean, yes.
Which gets nothing done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Look,
I
having
think that's a
Trump on and
privileged
then getting all
position to
sad
say.
about it,
You
know
want
what
to
I
be on
mean?
the left and you want to say, let's start swinging hooks, yeah, and you want to start throwing punches at the other side. But the alienation and abandonment is what happens to lead people to go down the road.
This is the last word of the podcast, so please.
Well, speaking of alien nation, we were all in an alien nation when Zig and Zag, the aliens from Zog, took to the screen and enraptured a nation with a, look, pretty good straight man in Ray Darcy.
Don't forget you can get tickets for Tony Cantwell in the Dublin Fringe Festival.
It's on tomorrow.
It's on tomorrow. Oh God, I'm going to miss it. I'm so sorry, Tony,
That's
about
okay,
that.
baby.
I'm so sorry about
I
that.
can't wait to see it. Can I just say, we were doing Young Hot Gags, and Tony did. I think it must have been the first half hour, some bits and bobs from his new show, and it is unbelievable. Like, it's gonna be, people are gonna be blown away. Like, it's funny, it's emotional, it's a
a new
whole
Tony
new type
Cantwell.
of thing that I haven't seen before. You're gonna be blown away because Tony's shows have often had big set pieces and kind of like, this is just him doing jokes. Raw. It's so raw. It's so brilliant. I really can't wait for people to just be blown away by it.
Thank you so much. My next show is Delirious. This one is Raw.
Yes.
Eddie Murphy.
Yes. Anyway, thanks for listening to the podcast, and thanks so much, genuinely, from the bottom of our hearts, for no particular reason today more than any other. But yeah, big thank you for listening. Thanks for letting us do this.
We love you. Thank you so much.
Love you.
Mila, Slán go fóill, Chus.
Cheers.
Just
I can speak Irish too.
if you say so, pal.
They're attractive. They're very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.